Today we're going to check this study from the platform eHarmony that says that women date on average 6 guys before settling down with one. So what this is trying to tell us is that always women are trying to, give me a second, women are always trying to check multiple options. This is not new for us, we already know this. But even though we understand this situation, guys forget when they are in love or when they are, as we say in Spanish, enchuchados. So what ends happening is that the woman is going to select the best beta that she can get, right? So from these 6 guys, and by the way, I think this 6 number is very conservative. Usually women, they kind of date more than that before settling down. But from these, let's say 6 guys, they will select the best beta that they can control. But at the same time, their pussy is clapping like a seal for the alpha male. So, by the way, while she was dating this, I don't want to get excited, but while she was dating the 6 men, you can bet, you can be sure that for some of these cases, some of these appointments were just like maybe go to the restaurants, with the beta guys. But with the alpha male, with the alpha guys, she had sex. So when she settled down with one of the guys, her pussy is still craving, the long dick, the guy that made her feel emotions. But you know what else she's craving? She's craving all the favors that she used to get from all these other players. So in her mind, it's not that, she trade for the best option for her. No, in her mind is settling down with this guy is what society expects her to do, but at the same time she's missing the best dick that she could get and also all the other favors. So eventually what ends happening is that as soon as the first fight appears with the man, with the boyfriend, she's going to come back, to the dick's carousel. She's going to come back to try to flirting with other guys. So this is something that women need to understand, right? Don't distract your main projects, don't distract your life just because you are dating a woman. I think the dating market is not going to improve, and for that reason, if you follow my channel in Spanish, Jose Balta, go and check my last episode. The name is El amor en tiempos modernos, love in modern times. I explained there that basically the best solution now is try to find affordable whores, affordable prostitutes nowadays. It's the healthiest thing that you can do. Getting the price of your powder, the price of your sex as low as possible, good quality always, and also you can date multiple people. That is what we guys are designed for. We are not designed for monogamy. I mean, that's a lie that we have been told. So that's my best solution that I can tell you. And also the other one is that women, due to the technology that we have nowadays, they are also not happy in settling down. Women suffer, right? So the best, I think, the future of dating is going to be people just teaming up perhaps for having kids, but not living together. It's going to be more like a business thing. Hey, well, let's have a baby together and let's try to find a middle point. But this romantic idea of settling down is going to disappear. Just a little reminder for everybody, I say this because I have friends buying like huevonazos apartments 50-50 with the girlfriends. I have friends that are not doing their research, not trying to do their networking, forget trying to scale their business because they want to spend more time with the girlfriend, and when she disappears, all your projects, time, and effort goes away. So let's try to be a little bit more smart. So that is the first part of the podcast. The second, I want to talk a bit about business. I know not many people care about business, but first, if you are making more money, dating is going to be easier. You are not going to be scared whenever you are losing your girlfriend because you can date other women. And this is going to sound silly, but most of my friends that are married nowadays, when I asked them, what was the real reason why you decided to settle down? They told me that dating was too expensive for them, so they just kind of gave up and they settled down. So you don't want to be in that camp, right? You want to be the guy that if you get married, I hope you don't, but if you settle down with a woman, it's because she actually makes you a better version of yourself. But coming back to the business topic. we are in the last years to be able to improve our finance and to build our own business. You cannot outrun inflation. You just working by yourselves is very difficult. Even if you get a promotion in the company that you work, if you get a better position. When I say a better position, it's not like a sexual position. It's like un mejor título in your business. You ascend from a basic employee to some type of manager. Still is not enough to cope with inflation. I don't know from where are you located, but here in Peru, managers can earn between 10,000 soles and 20,000 soles. More or less, 20,000 soles is like $6,000. Is not enough, especially if you want to have your own family and if you want to pay your bills comfortable. So the only way to be able to cope with inflation, the only way that you have to overcome this wild economy is by becoming one of the top performance freelancers. That is also a good option, or having your own business. That, as we discussed before, there's not like a huge difference. Like the difference between a freelancer and a business owner is basically the leverage. The business owner is someone that do his craft, do manage his skill, but applying some type of leverage could be hiring some extra people or some technology. But let's come back. I was saying that we are in the last years before everything becomes even more harder. I'm not going to expand too much on this, but you already know about AI content. I told you many times that branding is the way to handle the economy in easy mode. If you want to overcome your finance, if you want to be able to make good money, you want to work your branding, because your branding you can equal to certainty. So certainty is going to show people that whatever you say is what happened. Your offer is 100% sure that it's going to happen if they pay the money. If they know that, they will buy you all the time. So that's why you want to work your branding. But at the same time, if each time we have not just more AI content that is popping up in different platforms, but also more people fighting for this attention, it's becoming harder. So the longer that you wait for start working on your brand, the harder it will be. We can compare this, and this is not my idea. I heard this from Gary Vee, the one and only Gary Vee. Is the equivalent to buying plot of land, right? When you have a new city that is developing, you want to buy a plot of land in the center of the city, in the entrance of the city, but the more that you wait for buying a plot of land, the harder it's going to be and the more expensive it will become. Exactly. The new land is the online space. So if you want to gain the best eyeballs, the best attention, you need to start early. First thing. That's why we should start as fast as possible. The second one is inflation. Inflation is not improving. So that means that if now starting your business, and by the way, now starting your business is not that expensive. Most tools just don't cost you that much. Just to give you an idea, for example, I'm paying a Google Workspace, basically like 60 soles, $20 per month. And that gave you a lot of tools. But even these prices are not going to remain the same. They are increasing. And we are talking about online tools. Even online tools are getting more expensive. Back then in my times, I remember I was able to buy domain names for $8 per year. Now, on average, they are like $12 per year. So online tools are increasing its price in my real life tools. So that's why the earlier you start, the easier it's going to be to enter before inflation keeps kicking. And the last thing I'm going to show here is the networking. As you know, we are built to work in teams. Our education system, La education system, told us that we need to work by ourselves. But there's no way that you compete with big corporations if you want to work by yourself. Something that I always suggest is try to build these small teams. When I'm saying small teams, I'm talking teams of 4 people, 5 people, where you have different freelancers, different expertise, and you start a project together. That's the only way that you can do it, but you need to work on your networking skill. And it's gonna be harder in the future. Nowadays, like people, they are distracted with the cell phone, with the earbuds, like huevonazos. So if that is happening now, what happened when the goggles with this kind of helmet appear? the immersion in technology is going to be even worse. And in that moment, you can be sure that there is no way around. Some people say, no, but you can connect by LinkedIn. It's not the same. First, it's not the same. And also, everybody will start doing this. Even now, if you go to LinkedIn, they bombard you with a lot of inbox. So still these days, even with all the technology that we have, the proximity, the real life proximity makes the difference. So that is the first part, just talking a bit about women, about why we should start early our business. But there is another topic. This is a question that I received in my community, Baltanet. By the way, before I forget, if you want to join our English Latino community, go to baltanet.com, where we discuss about these topics. We share some wisdom, some tools, people with different expertise, but also that share our values. Go to baltanet.com. It's not just a way to practice your English, but also a way to have a winner community. If you are trying to level up your life, you know that usually your people don't do it at the same time. So if you want to find people that are eagles, that are also trying to improve their economy, go to baltanet.com. Nice publicity. Okay, now we go to this is a question that I received from my friend Bruno from my community. He said, how can you buy your first asset? And what I like of my community is that before I have to answer, I ask my people if someone can answer. And usually someone in my community already have the answer, and it's cool. It's like you know that the wisdom is already there. But my friend Mauricio, he replied to him, before thinking about trying to buy your first asset, the question is, what type of asset do you want to buy, right? So that was a beautiful answer, and that is going to take us to an interesting a theory called the buy box from Warren Buffett, but baby steps. But before getting excited, before I start jerking off about all this thing, the question is, what is an asset? According Robert Kiyosaki, that nowadays he has like 300 years, fucking old, but still smart. I like when these old people remain capable to get good decisions, to take good decisions. I don't know how they do it. Maybe good diet, good lifestyle, who knows? But according to Robert Kiyosaki, an asset is something that gives you a cash flow, something that brings you some type of revenue, preferably like a recurring revenue. Okay, first thing. Now, the second question is what my friend Mauricio mentioned. What type of asset do you want to buy? Not all assets are measured equal. And also there is this, what we call the buy box, as we mentioned before. It's like you want to specialize. Even real estate, you say, I'm going to buy plot of lands. Where are you going to buy plot of lands? For multiple reasons. The regulation change, the conditions, the threats, las amenazas, the competition is different on different places. The most important thing, and we're going to go deeper on this, is always find your mentor. If someone told me this long time ago about the mentor, I would say it's bullshit. All the information is online. Why do I need to waste my time with a mentor? But a mentor always shows you these blind spots that you don't see. You only can do research about the things that you understand. But the blind spots, and especially the things that are not in written text, but the things that are subtle in different economies, are the ones that a good mentor is going to show you. Just to show you the case of my friend Pancho, Francisco, I bought some plot of land to him. He's a real estate developer. He buys huge plot of lands, terrenos. He chunk in small pieces. He changed the zonification, the paperwork. So from agricultural, he sometimes switches to commercial or industrial, even better. But just by changing the paperwork, now the price of the plot of land increased, multiplied. Now, he learned from who? He learned from his father-in-law, de su suegro. He got a good wife. So he got married, and this is important also, like a dating advice. If you are going to get married, not just ask how good is your wife, how better your wife make you feel, but how is the family? Because now this family become or your team or your army or your enemies. So that also depends. You need to study the family. But coming back, where I'm trying to go is that his father-in-law always did this thing. He bought plot of land. Sometimes he bought plot of land near to the highway, la carretera del sur. So he will sell all the plot of land, and he will save the last part that was connected to the highway, and he always will sell this plot of land or to a warehouse, almacén, or to a huge gas station. So that was kind of the sharing the pie at the end of the project. So my friend, he also learned that. And that's something that you need a mentor. You can check online. I mean, I have checked, like you want good location, you want to check how is the ground, who are the neighbors, how safe is the paper, all this. You can check all, but it's not the same as someone that have been doing the business for a while. And a part, for example, I don't want to share all the secrets, but something silly that not even GPTs or Grok is going to tell you, that many times buying this huge plot of land is just go and start drinking with the previous owners. People that you are drinking, hey, I give you, I don't know, like my friend, for example, like a huge plot of land, $10,000. Why? Because he went there, started drinking with the previous owners. They were drunk. Okay, let me sell you one of my plot of land. And with that money, they buy a car. That's silly thing. But this process of drinking with the previous owner, this process of knowing who to bribe, and yes, it's happening here. I don't do that, but I can tell you this happens here a lot. You go to the municipality, and then you have to bribe the authorities, so they change the paperwork, they change the sonification. So all these are things that only the people, the insiders, understand. They will give you the contacts. They know the hidden letters or the fine prints in the contract. So that is proximity. Also, if you want to buy an apartment, you want to buy and rent an apartment. First, I don't recommend you that because that's something that everybody's doing. But if you want to do that, also you need a mentor. One of my neighbors, what he doesn't rent apartment, but he does house hacking. So he buys houses and he make, like, as we call it in Spanish, ratoneras, like mice houses, right? So every room he converted like in apartment. He put a tiny bathroom there. He make in one house live like 8 people, sometimes 10 people. So to do that, first you need to know how to divide the house, where to buy the house, and also how to select the tenants. And this he showed me. Selecting the tenants are inquilinos. Selecting the tenants is like having a job interview and a bank interview at the same time. You want to check, like a job interview, you want to check the attitude of these tenants. Are they going to be cool people? Are they going to party a lot? Now you have to pay the fine to the municipality. You don't want that. Are they going to live alone or will they bring more people? This is scary because happens that if they bring some people, this happened to my grandma, for example. I don't want to expand too much, but my grandma used to rent one part of her house. A woman rent this half of the house, and this woman brought her auntie, a su tía. The auntie was like 82 years old. Suddenly the woman disappeared and she left the auntie. How do you kick the auntie out of the house? You can't. Now, long story short, this auntie by accident, she created a fire in the house and the firefighter had to take the woman out. That was the way to take the woman out. But what I'm saying is that always these mentors are going to show you the exotic ways to monetize, to increase the ROI. And in digital products, that's my part. That's where I'm expert. What I like of digital products is that you can create this recurring revenue with a fraction of the price that you will invest in buying apartments or even plot of lands. Why digital products for me are an interesting way? First, because the market is less saturated, even though it seems that everybody is selling digital products, not everybody. And also what people forget is that people only buy digital products from people that they know before. That's why you want to work your personal brand. And even in personal brand, because I can tell you, I could expand on this topic like 50 minutes. Even in personal brand, what happens is that most people, they get distracted thinking that, oh, I need the attention of everybody. No. You just need to tailor your image for the avatar that you are trying to offer your service, right? In my case, it's a man between 20 years old and 45 years old. So what do they want? Some financial education, how to get pussy. That's why sometimes I appear slapping ass. I show you sometimes the dating traps that are happening. And I show you the trends also. By the way, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you an interesting trend for the people that are curious where to invest the money. I'm going to show you an interesting. So that's why always the mentor is the key. And by the way, this applies also for fitness. If you want to improve your physique, before thinking, oh, what are the exercises that I'm going to do by diet? No. Who is the person that is already fit? How can I work with this person? The same applies for business. And the last thing, talking about the mentor, is that you want to be coachable. First, you want to be willing to pay for the mentorship. People pay insane amount of money for university, even for institutes. Even for institute, they pay a lot of money. if you ask me, nobody asked me this question, but I ask myself, if I were younger, I would ask, what is better, a university or an institute that I call the prostitute? Between the two, I will say an institute, because usually an institute is faster. Now, an institute that is 1 year. If you tell me an institute of 3 years, that's bullshit. And there are many like that now. But an institute of 6 months, 1 year is a better option than a university. If you are young, you want some type of, to follow some type of schedule, right? You are still figuring out life. So I will say the institute is kind of the middle ground. It's not as fucked up as university and give you some flexibility. But coming back to the topic, what I'm saying, if you're willing to pay even the institute or the university, why not paying that money to mentors? Imagine hiring not 10, 5 mentors in different areas, right? One mentor in your expertise, in the thing that you want to be an expert. Another mentor in marketing. Another mentor in product design. Another mentor in accounting and laws. A lawyer and an accountant. If you hire these 5 mentors, you will be surprised how easy it is to scale your business. So we need to pay the mentor. Usually mentors don't ask you that much money. Even if a mentor asks you, like, if you know that he's a good mentor, right? But if he asks you for $2,000, $3,000 in Latin America, so $2,000 is not that much. He's going to save you 10 years of your life. My program Baltanet so far is like $1,000, and I can tell you, it's the way that you have all the shortcuts for the people that you would like to. If I knew this, it's like when you, let's put it like this. If you could go to your previous version when you were younger, when you were a teenager, would you make the same mistakes? You'll say no, right? Because now you know some information. Okay, the same happened. It's like instead of you sending yourself to the past, you have people that are already in the future coming to your present to give you the instruction. So mentors are important. You need to reward them because their time is valuable. That's why they are the successful person that they are. But also, and this is important, because some people pay the mentors, very few, but even fewer decide to follow the advice. When you are paying for a mentorship, you need to do exactly what they tell you to do. Maybe in the future, once that you are an expert, you can start, twisting, bending a little bit the advice. But at the beginning, do exactly. If they tell you to stand upside down, if they tell you to jerk off 3 times per day, do everything that they say, because they tell you that for a reason. Okay. So just the last part, I want to tell you that there are blueprints. What is a blueprint? Is a mappa. So a Pitbull, the one and only, the rapper, no the dog, no Armando Elecciones, the rapper Pitbull, he gave me the blueprint long time ago, and I didn't pay attention, but I at the end I did it. The blueprint was simple. It's try to improve your skill as much as possible, become very dangerous in the market, and then all your money focus on your craft. Try to boost your craft. He sold all his properties and he invested that in music. That's why he's as successful as he is now. Most people nowadays, first, they are lazy to develop their skill, but second, even when they develop, I want to be secure, so they diversify. Some people call it diversify. So don't diversify. Invest all the eggs. Put all the eggs in one basket and take care of that basket. Invest in yourself. The second one, once that you invest in yourself, before thinking about buying the S&P 500 or the S&P 500 or even Bitcoin, invest in the what is the name? The OFAC fund. What is the OFAC fund? Is the mierda, el fondo a la mierda. So I will try to translate it. What is the OFAC fund? Is that shit will happen always, accidents, emergencies will happen, and when that event appear, you don't want to be stressed. You don't want to be stressed. Oh fuck, what do I do now? That's why you want to be this. That is like a shield, because you want to have this tranquility that whenever you want, you have like some extra money. You want to have your savings 6 months, 10 months, and people will tell you, no, but inflation is going to eat that away. No, because being this mind state of being in peace allow you to take better decisions, and the ROI of better decisions is difficult to count. That you cannot measure. That is better than any Bitcoin return that you can have. And well, the last thing, your offer, if you're going to start your own business, your offer, remember, where are you? Who is your market and what do they value? Some people value money, some people value energy, time. So what is the thing that they care about? Include that in your copy, in your sales copy. There are people that, for example, if you sell to poor people, it's very unlikely that they care about time. That's why they are poor, because they don't care. They are scrolling TikTok like huevonazos. So in that case, you are not going to offer them, I will save you time, right? You focus more on the money part. You focus more on the money opportunities that will open in the future. If you are talking with rich people, you are talking perhaps about saving time, as I mentioned, energy, health. Health is important. We will go that later. How you're going to protect their wealth, how they can hire employees without risking the employees to take advantage of all those shit. You'll be surprised all the exotic products that rich people buy. That's why rich people is a better market. So you decide to who do you want to sell. You sell to the people that you can sell. Let's put it like this. You will craft a solution. Okay, I will include that. What an episode today. Snowball, the snowball process. I will summarize that. But you will craft a solution, and then you will offer to the people that you feel more comfortable to offer. That is true too, because it's better to sell to wealthy people. But if you are not comfortable to sell to wealthy people, start with people that are your same level first, and then bit by bit you scale. The opportunity. I told you about opportunity. The Latino market, the beauty of being here in Latin America is that all the trends come at the end. It's kind of, even in South Africa. I was talking today with a nigga from South Africa, and she told me that the insurance market is well developed there. Here in Peru, and at least, I don't know how it's in Colombia and other countries, but in Peru, the insurance market is not that well developed. In cars, yes, everybody buy like a car insurance. But the health insurance, not everybody has. But where is the opportunity? I think the opportunity is in the alternative medicine. I'm not saying that this replaces your insurance. You still pay your insurance. But I think also it's good to have this alternative medicine. I'm talking about, for example, one that I really like is acupuntura. I don't know how to say this in English, is auriculoterapia. It sounds like cool, right? Auriculoterapia. They put you some seeds. If you check, I have some seeds in my ear. So they put some seeds with a sticker, and that allow you to keep your energy more balanced. Some people will say that it's bullshit. I'm very sensitive, and I can tell you, I feel some difference so far. I feel more energy, I feel more focus, and maybe you can compare this video with the previous ones. Just in 1 week, 2 weeks, I feel that I have access to more neurons in my brain. Now, some people say placebo effect. Think what the fuck you want. Think what the fuck you want, But what I'm trying to say is that I believe that it's a big, big opportunity. I'm testing this new therapist, Uncle Freddy, El Tío Freddy from the gym. This week, I will have this session with my mother and I. We're going both to check. I want to check what is the reply of my mother, what she thinks about it. I will have some guinea pigs, and perhaps I will create a small business around this, something just for the family or for the friends. My main thing is the English. I really believe that if 10% of Peruvian people speak in a fluent way English, the economy will boost in a way that you can imagine, right? Okay, I said this, the snowball effect. Let me write the ideas. It's curious because this episode was going to be named "How to Create a Snowball Effect," but nobody signed nobody joined the video with that name. So I sent the topic at the end, but this is important. How I learned about this shit because I heard this podcast about the guy who created the product The Ring. The Ring was a company that was sold to Amazon, to my uncle Jeff Bezos. But the founder of this company, he had what he called the snowball effect. And I was like, oh, show me what happened. I will summarize the story. Okay, so what happened is that someone ring his bell in his house, the ring bell, and he couldn't hear. And he was in his parking. And he said, I wish there was a way to connect the ring with the cell phone. So he did it at the beginning. Then he said, I also want to know who's the person outside. So now he connect like a camera to the ring bell. Whenever someone ring the bell, the camera will take a shot, send it to his cell phone. Okay, so he was able to see the face. Then he said, I want to reply from my cell phone. So he started creating all these things. Later, he shared that with his wife. His wife liked the idea. And he asked the wife, hey, what is the cool part of this? And she said, the cool part is that she feels safer because now she can know who is outside. So it was, okay, this is connected with security. And that's when you realize, you fix a tiny problem and then you realize that you can achieve multiple goals at the same time. And the idea, I highly suggest you to do the research. I mean, I could expand a lot with the snowball effect because I'm applying this to my business. I have some frameworks. One is the pitbull mentality that I will say, be focused in one thing. But this snowball effect is an interesting complement to the pitbull mentality. But trying to summarize the thing, where I'm trying to go is that what you want is find a tiny problem, create a simple solution, improve the simple solution, add some features, some extra things to the stuff, and then scale up to more people, scale the solution, and in the way create momentum. Let me show you, I have done this before without knowing that was called snowball effect. I will just summarize it in 2 minutes, but I want you to ask the same question for yourself. It was back then in the year 2003 that I started doing exercise. I started going to the gym. And I was surprised how expensive were the supplements. I always remember this product called a Nitrix. Nitrix, the small bottle, I'm talking about the bottle with 180 pills. The price here in Peru was $50. And by the way, $50 now doesn't sound that much. Imagine the year 2003, those $50 were like $100. So imagine spending every month $100 just buying supplements. It's obscene. But simultaneously, I try to use the word, simultaneously, the same product in US was $32. So I was like, how can I bring this product, bring it in $32 and maybe sell it in, no, I'm lying, it was $26. So my idea was bringing the nitrix in $26 and sell it in $40. $10 cheaper, like the regular stores, and I still make a good profit. So I did that and I started buying the nitrix. Then I found the nitrix of 360 pills that was double the size, and I can make even more profit. So that was my simple solution. Try to avoid all the middle players in the supply chain. Instead of having like 6 players in the supply chain, it was basically the exporter and me, 2 players. But then I figured out that, hey, these American companies that are selling these supplements, they are not the ones that build the supplement. And even the companies that build the supplement are just buying the raw materials from other companies. So when you study, and that's why it's good to go deeper, that's why I suggest don't get distracted with Bitcoin and stocks. I mean, when you start getting distracted with this shit, you forget to go deep in topics that actually you can be the best. And in supplements, I figured out that in my mind, I thought that, the supply chain was the brand, let's say like BSN. The nitrix was sold by BSN. The gold standard is by Optimum Nutrition. So, okay. In my mind, let's talk about Optimum Nutrition, for example. In my mind was Optimum Nutrition is going to export the product to Peru, and here an importer will receive, the importer will sell it to a distributor, the distributor will put it in a store, and the store will use a seller to sell it to you. Imagine how many people, a lot. But when you go deeper, you realize that it's even more, the amount of players. Optimum Nutrition is not the company that build the whey protein. There is a company that packages the whey protein, and there is a company that actually build the whey protein, the ones that create the powder. If you can go directly to this one that create the powder and do the packaging and everything here and work your brand, and this is important, now you have a huge, huge margin. Less people are going to buy you because this new brand that you will have is not as popular as gold standard. But you can use the difference to, I'm trying to check if I have the Babylonio here. Yeah, I have the Babylonio. You can use the difference to add better quality of raw materials. For example, the gold standard, the Nitrotech, all these proteins have soy protein, proteína de soya, and egg protein. That's how they reduce their costs. If these companies use just whey protein, as they mentioned, they wouldn't have the margin to have all these middle players. That's why the name of the product, I don't want, sorry, I'm there. For the people who say here, respect, okay. But that's why the name of the product is 100% whey protein. But if you go back, the ingredients, they show you what do they use. And interesting enough, they never mention what is the percentage. How much soy protein are you using? How much egg protein are you using? And whether they put some flavors, you don't know because they are putting artificial flavor. But okay, what I'm trying to go is that you want to find this simple solution. In my way, the simple solution first was just try to, avoid this local middleman in Peru, then avoid the middle players in US, try to buy directly the raw material. That was my simple solution. You find your simple solution, you improve it. But then I was like, this is not enough. We need to add some features on this. How I add some features? By combine this with the nutrition plan and the training plan. People usually they have to hire also a nutritionist and also a trainer. That is quite expensive. If I show you how to modify your plans, that is not that difficult. Now that's like extra layers of value that you add on top, right? So that's my way to create a snowball effect. Create a simple solution, improve the solution, add some features. And the same happened with English. I'm not going to spend with English. I have a lot of time already. But what I'm saying with English was the same. I couldn't find ways to practice my English. Then I was trying to hire teachers online. But also these teachers online were not just expensive, but some of them were or boring, or sometimes they were not, they didn't bring me good information. And I want to accomplish many goals at the same time. That's why I created the community where you can practice your English, get the wisdom nuggets, do the networking effect. So you don't only improve the English idea, but also you add some extra features and then you can scale it. So I hope you enjoyed this beautiful episode. As you can tell, it's all about first understanding that the dating market is not the same. It's scary now. If you want to have a mental health like me, try to just date multiple women. Try to look as good as possible. I'm 37 years old and I look like a baby. You know why? Because I always try to have my business as a lifestyle business. I don't try to maximize the money. I maximize the lifestyle because that is going to allow me to live more years and to preserve this natural and inner beauty that I have. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Más 51 9890 23986 if you want to join Baltanet community. Spread the word, tell people to come to Uncle Balta on Spotify and also on YouTube. Blessings.